Hi everybody, how you doing? Today we've had some rain this morning. It's kind of cloudy and miserable, but it's 15, 17 degrees C, so it's, you know, not too bad for working out in the garden. It's wet most places, but I thought I'd work here where I don't have to get too dirty. Today I thought I would dig up the shallots and replant them, divide them and replant them. If you've never done this, this is probably the best way to get very early spring green onion in your garden. So I have just one little row of shallots planted right here. You know, some people say shallot, some say shallot. I tend to go between one or the other, so that's going to be the way it is. Um, I keep one row here for early spring green onion. They, about mid-season, about mid-July, they start to send up bloom stalks. They kind of quit producing that nice green onion, but by that time, garden onion is usually started, or bunching onion is usually on the go. This is just really good for that May, June green onion, bit of, nice spring flavor. So first thing I'm going to do is just take out some of these weeds. I find that these will grow pretty much anywhere. You can tuck them in amongst flowers. I've done that, when you don't have any other room. They grow very well that way. Um, they, they just look like little sprigs. There's nothing to them really. And once they start sending up the bloom stalks, it's easy to just remove those and toss them on the compost. So here I've dug up a clump, and as soon as you dig it up, this was 3. As soon as I dug it, it divided into 2, and then another small one just comes off. So we'll just put those to the side and keep on digging. See, that comes up. They don't have a huge root structure. They're easy to bring up, and just divide them like that. Some that come up may look a little kind of rotten. I haven't come across those yet, and you'll feel it. It's like soft, and it isn't, you can tell it's not viable. Just divide it like that. If they get too crowded in the garden, they actually don't produce very well. So it is good to do this. I just planted these last year, but because I have some others that I'm going to plant in, I thought I'd do it all at once and divide these again. So for the ones that I planted last year, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe a dozen. We'll see how many bulbs I come out with at the end of this. All right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, about 26. So they've easily doubled. Some were still just a single bulb, and some were 2 or 3 bulbs. So at this point, shallots can be dug up just like an onion, cut, dried, and stored. You can use them in your kitchen just as easy as replanting. When you replant, you want to take it, and you do kind of want to cut off that part. That doesn't need to be there anymore. Just trim it off. These are really forgiving. You don't have to be too worried about them. They are I have found them to be completely cold hardy in my Zone 3 Saskatchewan garden without any issue whatsoever. They grow, they multiply. I find them all over because at one time I tucked a bulb here and a bulb there just for you know, running out to get some spring greens. Done. So those were the ones that that were just planted here. These I let go to seed. Well, sort of. The seed isn't dry yet, so I don't know if that seed will be viable. And honestly, I don't want seed. And you see, these haven't been divided for probably 3 or 4 years. So out of one bulb, there is now 7. And a few of them are really very small. So this was a bulb planted last year, the size of it. This is the bulb that was not divided for a few years. They get crowded, just like any bulbs. And so that's why you see why it's beneficial to divide. They really are very easy to divide. So I'm going to clean up these as well. And I'm going to plant a second row behind here and let them grow on as well. But as for these, I'm just going to plant them right where they were. They were only in here 1 year, so I think I can go another year before having to worry about if there were any onion maggots settling into the soil. And at that point, maybe I should find another place to plant them. But for now, this is going to be my shallot patch. I'm just going to dig up the soil a bit to loosen it and then get these planted in. Okay, soil's dug up and I got rid of most of the lumps. So to plant these again, it is a very, very difficult process. You simply take the bulb, root down, and you push it into the soil till it's almost all covered. It doesn't have to be all covered. The very top of it can still be showing. And then they will eventually push themselves out of the soil as they grow. They don't need, I never supplemental water here. Just whatever rain falls is what they get. I'm also going to plant just the biggest bulbs in this area, and in the next row over when I plant it, another row of the smaller ones. So I'm just kind of staggering this planting, and I'd say there's, maybe 5 or 6 inches in between each. So it's kind of turning out to be like a triple row, staggered. So that's done. I've planted 21, which is probably almost double of what I planted last year, and the ones I had last year gave us plenty of green onion. Now you might not have shallots or shallots to do this with, and I don't know what's being sold in the stores at the moment. I don't know if grocery store, certainly the organic ones, wouldn't be treated, and they could probably be planted. But if you know of a vegetable gardener who may have these in their yard, there is always plenty to share. So don't be afraid to ask a gardening friend of yours if they have extra to share with you, at least to give you a start. Even, 5 or 6 bulbs is going to be great for early spring green onion. I think that's it. I sure appreciate you tuning in today and watching this video. Like always, subscribe, down below. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. See you.